What's up? My name is Payne, and welcome to my channel where I try to become the best at Yu-Gi-Oh! Emphasis on try. This is episode 6, and if you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, what's up, man? Last episode, I was playing with my ABC deck, and I've been playing with that for a couple weeks now, but I feel like it's time to just give it a little bit of a break and try something new. So I'm gonna be playing a brand new deck in today's episode. Which deck is that? I'm glad that you asked. The rogue deck that I chose to play for this locals is Super Quant. Sit my ass down. I really enjoy playing with this deck because growing up, I loved watching Power Rangers. And every kid that watched Power Rangers always thought about which Power Ranger that they would be. So my question to you is, what Power Ranger do you think I would be? And if you said black, wow. But if I had to choose what Power Ranger to be, it'll probably be black. The main boss monster for my deck is going to be Super Quant Magnus, which his effects is crazy. If he has enough material, he can stop my opponent from drawing any cards other than their draw phase, not be affected by any card effects other than Super Quant cards, and he has a non-target shuffle. And I summon him by using my Power Ranger effect monsters and using them to Xyz summon into their personal Zords. And then when I have enough of them, then I can Xyz them all together into Magnus. While playtesting with this deck, I felt like it was really good, but you know me, I gotta add a little bit of spice. I was trying out different archetypes just to see how well it would work, and the archetype that I feel like actually fit best with it was Goblin Biker. I feel like Goblin Biker is actually pretty good. It's not a whole bunch of cards that you need to get the Goblin Biker engine running, really. Adds a little bit more flavor to the deck, you know? It becomes an interesting board and people have to try to get past it. I'm excited to go to locals and show my Power Ranger Goblin Biker deck and see how well I do. But that being said, that's enough yapping. Let's get to action. Alright, going into the first duel of the day, my opponent is going first, and in the standby phase, I activate Molcharmi Foalos, hoping I get some extra draws. My opponent starts off by activating Theorize, which allows him to send one Meteus de Pure from his deck to his grave, allowing him to look at the top card of my deck, and then either place it at the top or bottom. And after he puts my card on the bottom of my deck, he activates Meteus, allowing him to shuffle one card from his hand to his deck, special summoning himself. I respond by activating Super Quant Black Layers effect in my hand, discarding one monster and special summoning himself, and then I can Xyz summon using him and the Super Quant in my graveyard, and in this case I summon Magna Liger. My opponent special summons Power Patron from his deck using Meteus' effect. Then he activates Graph Layer to summon himself, and then he activates his second effect, allowing him to set one Archmage spell from his deck. And without knowing if this was a good idea or not, I activate Magna Liger's effect, detaching one and then popping his Graph Layer. Then my opponent activates Power Patron's effect, fusion summoning himself and Meteus into Dactyrus. And after his Griffon is destroyed, I activate my Black Layer, adding one Super Quant spell to my hand after drawing my card because he fusion summoned. And my opponent activates Power Patron's effect, which basically does the same thing but for Archmage. After that, he puts his field spell face up, which does nothing on activation but grants him another normal summon. Then he activates Alterations to add Litera from deck to hand. Then he activates Archmage Vandalism, adding another Meteus to his hand from his deck. And since he controls an Archmage card, he activates Litera's effect, special summoning herself. Then he uses his extra normal summon to normal summon Meteus, and then he banishes his Theorize spell, changing Meteus' monster type and attribute. Then he links him off into Fiendsmith Requiem. And after drawing my card, he activates Requiem's effect, going into his Fiendsmith engine. Then he activates his Litera's effect, special summoning his Graph Layer from his grave, and then link summoning his Litera and his Luri until IB Masquerena. Then he activates Engraver's effect, shuffling back Luri from his graveyard to his deck to special summon himself. Then he Xyz summons into High King Caesar. Then he activates Acropolis, which allows him to declare one Archmage monster he doesn't already control, and he adds it to his hand. So he adds and then special summons Finmill. And then he ends his turn. And I had so many cards in my hand and there was so much going on, I actually forgot to draw in my draw phase. And the first thing I do is activate Goblin Biker Doug's effect, detaching one material from his High King Caesar to special summon himself, but he negates it with High King Caesar. Then I normal summon Super Quant Green Layer and activate his effect, to special summon another super quant from my hand. My opponent activates Dactoris' effect, negating and destroying my green layer, and I respond by activating my Magna Liger's effect, targeting and destroying his High King Caesar. Then my opponent responds by activating IP Mascarena's effect, linking off herself and Dactoris into Gorgon. And when she's on the field, monsters that she points to cannot attack and their activated effects are negated. So since I have a super quant monster on the field, I special summon super quant Zaytan from my hand. I activate Zaytan's effect to mill 1 and special summon. He negates with Caesar, but I still mill 1 for cost. Then I activate the spell Layer 19, allowing me to special summon Super Quant Arfan and activate his effect, tributing himself and revealing 3 Super Quant monsters, and my opponent picks 1 to special summon and the rest goes to the grave. He chose to special summon Black Layer and the rest go into the grave, and with that happening, Red Layer's effect is going to go while special summoning a Super Quant from my grave. Then I activate Super Quant Spike, banishing itself into Alphron to activate the Super Quant field spell on the field. And now, with 2 level 7s on my field, I Z summon into Mech Beast Luster X. And the goal was to use Luster X's effect, but my dumb ass Z summoned him in the spot that Gorgon is pointing to, and I completely forgot about Gorgon's effect. So then I attempt to activate my field spell's effect, and then my opponent activates Graph Layer's effect, destroying it. But I still have to discard for cost, so I discard Super Quant Blue Layer. Then I activate Blue Layer's effect, targeting up to 3 Super Quant cards that I have and shuffling back into my deck. I chose Red Layer and the field spell. Then he activates his Lacrima and Grave to special summon his Requiem, but luckily for me I had Callbar. Then he activates Finmill's effect, negating all monsters on my side of the field, and then I had no choice but to link summon into Silhouette Rabbit, activating his effect, getting my Angel Statue trapped. Then I activate Green Layer's effect since he was sent to the graveyard to discard 1 Super Quant monster and draw 1 card. I then activate Goblin Biker Breakout to tribute my Silhouette Rabbit to special summon Goblin Biker Gone Wild. I attempted to activate his effect, but then I forgot Gorgon's effect and summoned him in the spot she's pointing to. I set 1 and pass. During my opponent's turn, he activates an Engraver to special summon himself, and then I activate my Angel Statue in response. Then he uses Medius' effect, special summoning himself, but then I negate it with Angel Statue. Then he activates Graph Layer's effect, targeting and destroying my face down spell or trap, but he chose my quick play spell Layer 19 and I activated, special summoning Red Layer. And after that, I had no response to anything he was doing, so I was literally just watching him pop off. Bringing back Power Patron, leading him to fusion summon into Nerva, ultimately using its effect to destroy all cards I control. With my board cleared, I activate Red Layer to special summon back Black Layer, and I tried to activate Black Layer's effect, but yet again, I special summon in the spot that Gorgon is pointing to. And after that, he goes in a battle phase and he goes for game. Alright, going into game 2, I'm going first, and I activate Emergency Teleport, and my opponent responds with Molcharmy Fualos. Hate to see it. I special summon Blue Layer and I activate Blue Layer's effect, adding a Super Quant to my hand. And I chose Super Quant Zaytan. I then special summon Zaytan from my hand, then activate its effect, giving it the same level as my Blue Layer. And then I Z summon the both of them into Mech Beast Grand Pulse. I then activate Goblin Biker Doug, detaching 1 material to special summon itself. Then I activate Doug's effect, adding 1 Goblin Biker spell to my hand. I add Grand Entrance. Then I activate Grand Breakout, tributing my Doug to special summon Wild. Then I use Wild's effect, special summoning Goblin Biker to Clatter Exploder. Then activating Exploder to bring back Doug from the graveyard. Then I exceed summon the both of them into Gabunga. I activate Gabunga's effect, letting me add a Goblin Biker card, but then he ashes. I then activate Grand Entrance, adding another Goblin Biker to my hand, and then he draws. After that, I set 1 and I pass. He starts off by imperm negating my Gabunga, which really hurts since I don't have a super strong board. And after that, he was able to just build what he wanted. We were already down on time, so then he goes in the battle phase and he attacks for damage. Alright, going into the second round of the third duel, I'm going first. I activate Emergency Teleport, special summoning Blue Layer. Blue Layer activates, adding a Super Quant card to my hand. I added Layer 19. Then I special summon Zaytan from my hand, then activating its effect, tributing itself and milling 1 Super Quant card to special summon 1 Super Quant. I special summon Alphon, and then I use Alphon's effect, tributing itself and then revealing 3 Super Quants, and he chooses 1 to special summon. He ended up choosing Super Quan Black, and a couple other effects are gonna go off. White layer is gonna add Alpha to my hand, and red layer is gonna special summon white layer from the grave. And now with 2 level 7s, I XZ summon into Luster Ranks. Then I normal summon green layer and activate his effect, special summoning black layer from my hand. Then I activate black layer's effect, XZ summoning into Magna Liger with red layer. But luckily for me, I have my field spell in my hand and I activate Magna Carrier. I discard off on the target blue layer to XZ summon into Mega Beast Grand Pulse. Then I activate my field spell Magna Carrier's effect, combining all my mech beasts into the one, the only. Megazord Magnus. And out of this whole entire tournament, this was my first time summoning him. So now it's about time to see what he's all about. What the fuck? It's okay though, since I got cards that were sent to the graveyard, I have hella effects. I shuffled the field spell and Magnus with blue. Then I special summon black layer with red, triggering black layer's effect, adding layer 19 to my hand. And since Magnus was sent to the grave, I can special summon 3 Super Quant Mech Beast XZ monsters from my grave. And since Black Layer was special summoned to the field, I used his effect XZ summoning into Magna Liger with red. And after that I end my turn. My opponent then activates the Regenesis spell card, adding Regenesis Archfiend to his hand. Then my opponent activates Morganite Song, and then he banishes it, adding Morganite Time Tear to his hand. Then he activates Time Tearing Morganite. Then he reveals Lord, special summoning his Regenesis Archfiend. Then he activates his effect, adding Regenesis Warrior to his hand. He then banishes Archfiend with Lord, special summoning himself. Then I respond with Magna Liger, detaching 1 material to destroy his Lord. And then after seeing if he could do anything else, he scoops going to game 3. Alright, going into the third game, my opponent is going first, and he's able to go through his first turn board without being interrupted. And with us not having a lot of time left in the match, he ends up XZ summoning into Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, which is super scary to see in times like this because every time I activate a card or an effect, he deals 500 damage to me. And before I could do anything, which would be pretty pointless, they call time and they end the game. GG's to him. Alright, going into the fourth and final duel, it is a mirror match and my opponent is going first. He activates Emergency Teleport, special summoning blue layer, then activating blue, adding Alphon to his hand. Then normal summons Alphon, activating his effect, tributing himself, making me choose between 1 out of his 3 super quants, special summon, and send the grave. And I ended up picking white layer. Then he started popping off, activating all of his effects, getting as many Power Rangers as he can on his field. And right before I give him the chance to special summon Magnus, I activate Nibiru. And after clearing his board and giving him a 106 attack nib token, he sets 1 and he passes. Going into my turn, after I draw, I normal summon Super Quant Alphon, and since I have a Super Quant monster on my field, I special summon Zaytan from my hand. Then before I can do anything, my opponent activates Crossout's Designator, targeting his own Zaytan, negating my Zaytan's effect. So instead I activate Alphon's effect, giving him 3 Super Quants to choose from. He picks and special summons white layer, meaning that black and red layers effect activates in the grave. In addition to white layer's special summon effect, I add layer 19 from deck to hand, and then I special summon black layer from the grave, and then I add Alphon from deck to hand. And then I XZ summon into Luster Rex. After that I use Zaytan and Nib to link summon into Silhouette Rabbit, and then I activate Silhouette Rabbit's effect, setting Angel Statue. After that I activate layer 19, special summoning black layer, activating his effect, XZ summoning into Magna Liger using red layer. Then I use Magna Liger's effect, targeting and destroying his fat ass token. And then I go into my Goblin Biker play, and then he tries to draw me, but it won't help him here. And then I get all my goblins on the board, go in the battle phase, and I attack for game. Going into game 2, my opponent's going first, and he's pretty much doing the same combo that he did last time, but now he added green layer into the mix of the 3 that I could choose from the special summon. I end up special summoning his red layer, and now he has a couple effects going off. He pitches his spike ball with green layer to draw. Then he adds layer 19 with black layer. Then he activates 1-for-1, pitching his red layer, special summoning his Zetan. He special summons green layer from the grave with red layer, then using Zetan's effect milling white layer and then special summoning black layer. Then adding Alphon with white layer's effect. Then black layer's effect activates Exceed summoning into Lesterix using white layer from the grave. Then he banishes Alphon Spike and Alphon from his grave, activating his field spell from his deck. He discards Droll to Exceed summon Grand Pulse over blue layer. Then discards Alphon, Exceed summoning to Ouroboros with green layer. Then he activates Magna Carrier using all of his Mech Beast Exceeds as materials for Magnus. Then he activates layer 19, equipping Super Quano Mech Sword to his Magnus, making it way harder to even get over him. So because of technical difficulties, I wasn't able to record the rest of the duel. But I could give you a breakdown of what happened. So basically he was able to get his Magnus on the board and he ended up passing to my turn. I ended up getting more bodies on my board and then link summoning into my Underworld Goddess using his Magnus. After that his board was left open and I went to battle phase and I ended up winning. That's episode 6 of Locals, and overall I had a really fun time even though I finished this Locals going 2-2. Just like always, it was good seeing everybody at my Locals and just having fun, and also playing my Super Quant deck and kind of seeing all the oohs and ahs as people were walking past me, seeing how creative I was being with the deck. And also thank you so much to everybody who supports me, and also thank you even more to the people who outwardly just lets me know that they support my content, they like my content. Like I said, I greatly appreciate the love. Not only do I do this for me, but I do this for you guys too. And remember, have fun, be safe, and wear deodorant, because when you smell good, you play good. Peace.